God bless everyone.
Hello, everyone.
God bless you, brothers and sisters, ladies and lads. I'm just going to give 3 tips on how I communicate. This was inspired by my friends who we were discussing about communication. They didn't happen to have notes, but would like to take mine. So I'm making a video for that. And hopefully anyone can sample this and use it, apply it to their own character. So there's basically just 3 things. I'll start with the first one. It's being yourself, right? And with being yourself, it just simply means going deeper into what makes you, your interests, your beliefs, your passions, your career choices, your own ideas, your own concepts, your own philosophy. All of those things combined create you, and the only way they can be interesting is if you went into further depth with them. Try spending some time to work on them and follow along with being as, how can I say this, cringe as possible. Do everything that you want. Don't do things that are like against your morals, against your beliefs. Don't do any of that. But if it is approved, have as much as fun as you want. I bought this tool of mass destruction. I love it. It's fun, and I enjoy being myself with it. It helps me enjoy being myself. And when you become yourself, you kind of create a space around other people to want to be themselves. I was playing with it in a store, cash and carry, and with my friend actually. We were having a lot of fun. He soon realized and stopped caring that people are looking. I never cared about people looking, but I could tell that he was having a great time. He was having a good time, and I'm glad that he did. That's the whole point. But he even went further. I saw a dad going on with his family and his wife. He, not to say he got inspired, but I saw him take the same tool, the same toy, from that slot, from that section, and beat his wife and his kids with it. Everybody laughed, everybody had a great time. And it wasn't something that, is too cringe as a parent to do. I know sometimes parents kind of do that. But everybody had genuine smiles on their faces, and that's a beautiful thing. Being yourself does genuinely allow people to enjoy being themselves as well. Kind of make your voice loud enough so that nobody can feel uncomfortable when they use their voices. Not to say make yourself the star or something like that, but like I'm saying, make everyone feel comfortable with themselves by being an example. Not to embarrass yourself, by the way, but like I'm saying, being cringe comes with the thought about what do they think about me? What do they think about this? To be fair with you, they don't know you that much, and even if they do see you do something embarrassing, they're not going to remember you forever. It's unavoidable. And if you are cringe, you become authentic, you become yourself, because everybody's too scared of making mistakes. So if you stand out by doing those mistakes and being confident about them, it just goes to show that you know yourself and you're grounded with the things you want to do, right? You're proud of your decisions. And then going to the second one is being like a child. There's 2 interesting things that children do, which is the first thing is interest. When kids conversate amongst themselves, communicate with adults or whatever the case is, they don't know how to communicate. They're terrible with using words. They're still young, they don't really understand emotional intelligence and all those things. And social cues as well. Kid might look at a disabled person and start asking the wrong questions. And it's not just because they want to be rude. Most of the times they're just curious. But they don't know how to say it. And sometimes that same person might feel offended. But if they realize that that's just a kid, they wouldn't. But some kids are challenging you, bro. I'm not kidding. But okay, as I'm saying, when we look at kids, we see that they're interested in a lot of things. That's because they don't know a lot of things, right? Treat people that way. You just met this person. Even if you know this person, be interested. When they mention something in a sentence or their whole paragraph about themselves, pick everything that you took a liking to, right? And ask about that. Ask them like how a kid would ask, but what is this? Why do you do this? How do you feel about that? Right? Try and extend that interest into getting as many answers as you possibly can. And then the second thing is, kids don't necessarily understand social cues and these things of leg direction to communicating. It's all about being yourself, right? I know I mentioned it in the first point. They go hand in hand, by the way. When you act like a kid, as in you contemplate on your own thoughts and you discuss them with someone, you talk about your interests, how a kid would, then people take a liking to that. Am I saying be childish? No, there's times and places where you can't be childish. You have to be, show some etiquette, right? But sometimes when you're communicating and creating a bond with people, you shouldn't restrict yourself by using formality. Kids don't know that. They don't know that you have to have like icebreakers and things like that. Kids don't know icebreakers. They don't care about those things. They don't ask you how you're doing. For example, when you're a kid and you see other kids play, hey guys, can I play? You don't come up with a formal letter telling them about your background, now it's a whole interview, and then saying, can I play now? No. You just say, hey guys, look like you're having fun. I don't know if you mind, but could you mind if I join on? Sometimes they say no, which kind of hurts. But at least you're direct with your intentions. You don't put on the fluff of formality. It's human connection. It's interactions. Don't waste your time with formality. Just be direct and be honest. Avoid the insecurity of being cringe or being too forward. But be curious and honest and intentional. Get it? Intentional. Sometimes, kind of restrict your intrusive thoughts, because some people choosing thoughts are kind of concerning. Okay. Then we have the third point, being articulate. When you are articulate, you find a way to express yourself, your opinions, your views, your beliefs, to a degree that has people not only understanding it, right, grasping the message you're trying to convey, but you use your words so decisively that it connects people to what you believe in. It connects people to what you stand for. Even if they're grounded, you persuade them to a degree that they're willing to kind of shatter their contradictions about whatever you said and kind of join along. That's the important thing about communication. And it helps you express yourself to the fullest extent. Because communication is a branch from who you are and understanding people and people understanding you. I mean, you can use non-verbal techniques, like how I told my friend that depending on the event, depending on the circumstance, I'd wear accordingly to how I want people to perceive me. And I would like for my outfit to speak on my behalf before I talk about myself. Give people the idea about who I am, what I do, and the kind of person I am. That way, I don't waste time. It cuts off the people who don't necessarily like hang around people like me and brings forth people who do. Not to say bring in the wrong crowd. Try to make sure that you don't. If you do, it means there's something wrong with you. But that shows that you're analyzing yourself and you're taking good notes that can help you and improve you. So putting all of that together with how to articulate, learn a few other things: emotional intelligence and social cues. Of course, social cues goes hand in hand with articulation, because when you articulate, you learn how to be silent, be comfortable with silence, which is a very important thing. I can't really touch it because the video would go on and on and on and on. But if you at least know the subtle things, like how I said, be interested, right? It at least gives the person the comfortability of talking about themselves, which doesn't make them feel like an interview. And it's not necessarily a skill, But if you are articulate, that is a skill. And it's an incredible skill. It's an incredible tool and a weapon when it comes to meeting people and getting to know people. Right? So connect all those three together and you become a quite, not to say distinguished lad, but a sophisticated one, a one who has depth, a one who I would say, for myself, interesting. Not to say I call myself interesting, but I take a lot of time in my own character. It's a very beautiful thing to work on your character. And I would like for my friends to kind of take those notes and make the most out of them. So I appreciate you. God bless you.